Excuse me. Sorry. Okay. Hi, Sagittarius. That's you. This is Tarot Illumination, and it's your singles mini love and relationship report for like half November, half December. That's just the pattern we're doing now. It's just the way it is, okay? And remember, it's for singles, so there's a lot of what if going on here, okay? Remember, you're always radiating the energy of relationship anyway, whether you like it or know it or not. And I would like to ask you, like we do here, do your cross-watching, sun, moon, and rising, all of that stuff. We're not going to do any reversals and oracles and all of that stuff. It's just going to be a very simple little story. And I would invite you to stop and start and pause so you can integrate these questions into the reading itself and start to, interpret the reading yourself, okay? I'm just going to give you the Tarot Illumination spin, but you can, rewrite the whole story if you want, okay? So this one is for you, Sagittarius. Now, you're probably very aware we're getting very close to the end of that big Saturn in Sagittarius transit that's been going on for the last couple of years. We've only got a couple months left, not even that. It'll be all done by the end of December. And then it moves over to Capricorn. Ha, ha, ha. So anyway, let's see what happens here. All right, let's have a look. All right, here we go. Let's just cut it up and then go for it. Wow, that was a big cut. Jeepers. Okay, anyway. So this would be you, your love energy that you're radiating, okay? This would be the potential love energy of another, okay? Just what if, just in case you attract some person, okay? This would be the relationship itself. There's you, there's another, and there's the relationship itself. It is a third entity that has its own identity, okay? And it would relate to the crucible, the structure that contains the relationship. And these would be the prospects of like what's going on here with this thing. Okay, underneath we're going to look at the circumstantial energy, just call it the weather. And you, Sagittarius, you're going to make the best of it, okay? You're not going to be owned by circumstance, okay? You can if you want, but I'm suggesting just make the best of it, all right? Excuse me, I had to just tidy up a little bug that was crawling on the wall. All right, here we go. Let's have a look. Ta-da! Okay, with the Nine of Pentacles here, Sagittarius, to me it feels like an indication that circumstantial energy is indicating that things are going to be okay down the road, okay? Maybe not right now, because, with Saturn energy, you really don't get, it's just like going to school or college. You don't suddenly get your degree just because you showed up. You have to live through the whole thing. Saturn is very much to do with time. It's very earthbound energy. So, and that might not sit too well with you, Sagittarius, because you want to go for it. You like to be out there right in the front of things, exploring, learning, and carving out new understandings, taking it to the limit, getting as close to consciousness as possible, and then having to integrate things back into reality. Bit of a chore. But anyway, this is good news. This is very supportive. This is an indication that circumstances, my feeling is that they're going to start to work for you in such a way that you can integrate something solid that works. Something that works, where the relationship itself has a sense of integrity that stands up on its own. It isn't all about victim and rescuer, or rescuer and victim, and there's codependency. I'm not talking about stuff like that. I'm talking about a relationship that has integrity and stability. So what are you radiating? Okay, going for it. For sure, with the Chariot here, it's an indication that, Sagittarius, you might be sensing this already. You might be sensing the changes that are going on, where you might be sensing a new sense of how awesome you are, how valuable you are to your world, to yourself, to others, and others to you, and then taking charge of that, having lived through, 2.5 years of intense Saturn pressure to get it together, Sagittarius. Get your act together. Integrate all the shadow aspects of yourself with the conscious aspects of yourself, because whatever is unconscious owns you. It feels like fate and you can just blame it on everything and everyone else. But if you start to integrate these things and own them, then you become much more in charge of your own life, especially when it comes to love and relationships. So the indication here is that it may not be happening just right now, but you are setting yourself up. You're getting ready to put yourself and, let's say, arrange yourself into the right way of being for you to attract the kind of mate that you deserve, the kind of mate that you need, that would be complementary for you down the road. You know, it might not be perfect love, but it'd be what you would need. In other words, according to the laws of attraction, what is it you need right now to bring out the maximum? Okay, let's have a look at the other. Okay, bam, oh, the sun. So with the sun here, it's almost like it's almost like inside of you at your very, very deepest core, there's something happening where you're realizing you might not even be able to put language to it, because these are very strong cards that would indicate almost a sense of fate going on here, to the point where you might not actually feel as though you're in control of any of this, but at the very deep subconscious level, you know, there's that understanding, like, if I don't get my act together, then this is not going to happen. So if I do get my act together and I take charge of myself, I take full ownership of all of my awesome self, my shadow and my light, and integrate all of it, then I do have the potential to attract that wonderful mate that does have all the qualities, ticks all the boxes. You know, they might look the right way, they might feel the right way, they might behave the right way, it might be like that kind of energy where it's just like, I don't want to over romanticize things here, but it's almost like a love at first sight type of energy where you just know, where I'm just saying, what if, you know, this is not like it's going to happen. Tarot Illumination is not a fortune teller. All I'm suggesting is that if you continue like on the path where you are now, very diligently grinding your way through becoming the new version of you, the more valuable, more valued, a more fully integrated version of you, it dramatically increases your chances of attracting someone of this caliber, someone that is very, very complementary to you in a way that works for you and works for them, because they don't really have to answer to anybody. This is someone who owns their own happiness from the inside out. So it's not like their happiness is not dependent on a relationship. So there's no chance of like codependency here, or like savior and victim, or savior and victim. That's not what's going on here. It's much more about you, Sagittarius, turning yourself in to, you know, living by example, being your most awesome self, which makes you very much more appealing and much more likely to attract this, okay? Like attracts like. It's laws of attraction, duh, okay? So, you know, let's just say there's a potential that someone like this shows up, which would be lovely for you, Sagittarius. Maybe there's a hint. Maybe you feel it already. And maybe you're starting to attract that. Maybe they don't have a name yet, but you can feel them coming into your energy field, you know? Like maybe you're way over here radiating all of this, and they're way over here, but there's that magnetic thing happening because you're doing whatever you have to do to put yourself in your best condition, your most magnetic form, in the best possible light to attract the equivalent. In other words, the awesome reflection of oneself here. Like this kind of energy. Like this as opposed to that or that, but very much complementary energy where you can take the full-on pressure of being in full relationship, full deep intimacy with yourself and another, and the other with yourself. Where does that take us in the relationship? Okay, we saw this in another reading. It puts, to me it feels like there's so much pressure here. I think it's something to do with the Jupiter and Scorpio thing, because it's so strong right now. And it's putting a lot of pressure on everybody. And I've been, you know, feeling it in some of the comments and things, like people are under tremendous pressure. Jupiter is expanding that Scorpio Pluto type energy, which is very, very powerful, very strong, and it's all about intimacy. And a lot of people, and intimacy isn't, they say they want it. It's like, oh, I'd love to be, oh, I want all this, I want all that. But when it actually arrives and you realize what true intimacy is made of, then it can be terrifying, because you're literally talking about the deep soul bonding of oneself with another. And that can be terrifying to the point like, okay, this is what I wish for. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. And now I've got it. I've got it. Whoa. Whoa, hold on. Wait a minute. What are we going to do about this? And you kind of go, wow, it's pretty amazing. Wow. Like, what if this actually happens, Sagittarius? And you get all this, and it kind of goes, whoa, awesome. But it's almost overwhelming is too much. Then it puts a lot of pressure on the relationship itself, okay? Where you might feel as though your sense of like, independence that you normally love becomes threatened, because all of a sudden you're dealing with the energy of profound intimacy, deep soul merger, and then you might panic and think, oh, is that codependency? Am I being sucked into something? What's happening here? Okay. And is that threatening your integrity? So it could put you it could get you very rattled. Even though there's the potential of so much awesomeness here, it could also leave you very rattled to the point like trying to figure it out using the logical mind as opposed to allowing the love to flow. Because this is very determined energy here. The determination to have love, to love, and to be loved, okay? At this level, the equivalent, and then having the potential to attract it and then getting it. Oh, my God. Oh, whoa. That kind of makes you go, what? So you do that, but it's actually a good thing to do. It's a good thing to check, double check yourself, because, you could get very carried away with your own energy here, and then realizing it's important to do things gently in steps and not put everything onto autopilot. In other words, let's say you do attract this wonderful potential mate. You just can't sort of say, okay, I did it. Now we just put on everything on autopilot and everything's great for the rest of my life. Thank you very much. No, it doesn't work like that. It's a continuous flow of maintenance, maintenance, maintenance. A really good, healthy relationship requires maintenance. Of course, you're going to have periods where you can just lounge around and enjoy the good stuff. Periods where you need a lot of maintenance. But either way, it's maintenance, okay? Just like operating and owning and managing a car or a business or a house or a family. I'm sorry to be so boring and put it down into those kind of contexts, but relationships require attention, nurture, okay? So it might throw you for a loop trying to figure out, how do we actually do this now that we've got it? Oh no. Bammo. So again, more twos. This is the Two of Pentacles here. It's almost like, how does this translate into reality? Because this is potentially really awesome. Let's say you are all of this. You're determined for this to happen, and you potentially attract it. That's great. But it does put you in a very awkward spot of like, oh my gosh, be careful what you wish for, because now you're getting it. And it could feel a little bit destabilizing emotionally, because, sometimes we wish for things and they start to happen, but they don't manifest in exactly the way we thought they would in our three-dimensional imaginings. They come in a much bigger, broader context that really takes us way out of our comfort zone, which really forces us to have to make decisions. And luckily, so long as you understand the laws of attraction, life is all about making decisions. Making decisions is what creates your reality moment by moment, so that by making very healthy, well thought out decisions moment by moment, allowing for the emotional turbulence as it goes along, allowing for any kind of intellectual turbulence as it goes along, you figure it out so that very incrementally, step by step by step, just like a farmer or a good business manager, you figure out what it actually takes to create a long-term stable relationship where the relationship itself has the integrity and stability for both parties to enjoy themselves in the context of a stable, balanced, well thought out relationship that creates independence and stability for both individuals. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay, I kind of went out on a limb there. Stop, start, pause, however you want to do it, reinterpret however you want. Okay, thank you, Sagittarius. Please make the best of it. Bye bye.